In Atlanta, on Wednesday night, England were 30 minutes away from something the country had waited 60 years for, a place in the World Cup final. Then it slipped through their fingers, and by the final whistle, the loudest voices in football were not blaming the referee. They were blaming the dugout. Here's what happened. England had gone toe-to-toe with the world champions and, in the 55th minute, Anthony Gordon put them ahead. For a moment, history felt close. But instead of pushing to finish the game, England pulled players back. Manager Thomas Tuchel brought on more defenders, and England's shape got deeper and deeper. Argentina, sensing the shift, poured forward. Lionel Messi, playing his first ever match against England at age 39, set up both of Argentina's goals in the closing stages, first for Enzo Fernandez in the 85th minute, then for Lautaro Martinez deep into stoppage time. A 1-0 lead turned into a 2-1 defeat, and England's World Cup was over. Inside the England camp, the players didn't hide from what had gone wrong. Captain Harry Kane admitted it plainly. Once his team went ahead, he said, "We seem to just try and hold on, which at this level is just not enough." Defender Marc Guehi agreed, saying England should have carried on pushing. Dan Burn, who came on as one of the extra defenders, said the game plan had worked well right up until the goal, but afterward the team got a little bit passive and sat too deep, and it felt like Argentina's equalizer was only a matter of time. The reaction from former players was just as direct. On the Rest is Football podcast, Gary Lineker said England had gone a goal up and then sat deep, and that the substitutions only made it worse, turning the shape into a low block against a team built to punish exactly that kind of approach. He called it a cowardly approach, arguing that once you refuse to leave your own box, the outcome becomes predictable. Wayne Rooney was equally blunt, saying the decisions Tuchel made had cost England the match, and that watching 3 defensive changes come on while you're trying to attack drains belief from a team fast. Michael Owen drew a comparison to Spain, who had beaten France a night earlier while leading 1-0. His point was about mentality, that Spain kept playing to win, while England seemed to play not to lose. Zlatan Ibrahimovic, working as an analyst, said England simply stopped playing the moment they scored, and that Tuchel's changes pushed the team too far into a defensive posture while Argentina's manager, Lionel Scaloni, did the opposite and kept pressing forward. Gary Neville, speaking on his own show alongside Ian Wright and Roy Keane, called it a painful and familiar story, England going too narrow, too deep, protecting a lead instead of building on it. He pointed out this wasn't new. England have done this in tournament after tournament, he said, no matter the stage, no matter which group of players wears the shirt. Thomas Tuchel didn't dodge the criticism, but he didn't fully accept the harshest version of it either. Speaking to the BBC afterward, he said the responsibility for the decisions was his, but that in the moment, he had no regrets. "You can discuss this with a million coaches," he said, "but I have to make a decision on the pitch." He explained that Argentina had already been winning key moments before the changes, and that he was trying to shore up gaps he was seeing appear. Crucially, Tuchel has confirmed he intends to stay in the job all the way through to a home Euros in 2028, regardless of how painful this defeat felt. It's also worth putting this loss in context. This was the 3rd time since 2018 that England have lost a major semi-final or final after taking the lead, a pattern that echoes their own past under different managers, in different tournaments, with different players. That repetition is part of why this defeat has cut so deep. It doesn't feel like one bad night. It feels familiar. None of this should take anything away from Argentina either. Reaching a second straight World Cup final after trailing late, for the second knockout match in a row, takes real composure, not just luck. Messi's performance, at his age, in his first ever meeting with England, will be remembered as one of the defining moments of the tournament. For England, the story isn't quite finished. There's still a third-place match against France in Miami Gardens on Saturday, a chance to end the tournament with something to show for the run they had. And on Sunday, Argentina will face Spain in the final, with the whole football world watching to see whether this Argentina side, forged through comebacks and nerve, can finish the job. What do you think? Was Tuchel's caution the right call gone wrong, or a mistake England should have seen coming? Let us know your thoughts, and stay tuned for our full breakdown of Sunday's final.